Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hi, this is Gronk from Dudes on Dudes. I'm here to tell you about protecting your end zone with wet, extra large flushable Dude wipes. Unlike dry wiping with toilet paper, Dude wipes clear instead of smear. Wetter cleans better. Goodbye dingleberries. Goodbye itch and irritation. Plus, if you take Gronk-sized grumpies, or as I like to call them, Gronkies, baby wipes won't do. You need extra big Dude wipes to handle the job. So don't fumble the ball with toilet paper. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole and start using Dude wipes. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes. Best clean, pants down.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Apple Card members can earn unlimited daily cash back on everyday purchases wherever they shop. This means you could be earning daily cash on just about anything, like a slice of pizza from your local pizza place or a latte from the corner coffee shop. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app to see your credit limit offer in minutes. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Jordan and Jake.
I feel good. I'm excited, ready to go.
The home stops. He throws it across field. Guess who? Jordan Gross.
Here are your Panther Hall of Honor members, Jordan Gross and Jake DeLome.
Jake, it's week 17. It's Christmas week. And, the Panthers are first in the NFC South. Who'd have thought, Jake? Who would have thought? Life is good right now.
Life is great, Jordan. We can all go back to the old, saying of like, oh man, if we would have known this before the season, how happy would we be? And no one really knows, right? You don't know what the division's going to look like at this time. And it's certainly the first, month and a half, Tampa looked like they were going to run away with it. And it's just crazy. If you go, as cliche as it sounds, if you just go 1 week at a time, just look up at the end of the year. That's all you got to do. And it's, I think we've done that. So it's pretty good.
Well, before we dive into the game against Tampa Bay and the rest of this season, I just got to tell you, I am in the Christmas spirit, Jake. Although we're having a wildly unseasonable warm winter out here in the West, my family and I went to New York City this weekend for a little holiday vacation, and the Big Apple did not disappoint. I walked like 30 miles all around the city, seeing the sights. The lights are up everywhere, and it was a good weekend. I did peel off time, me and my son Boone, to watch the Panther game in the hotel room, and I just couldn't have had it any better, Jake. Do you ever go? Have you ever been to New York with your family around the holidays?
No, Jordan, I have never done that, and that's something
Gotta
that we
go.
have discussed and talked about. I know. Give me a couple of must-dos, or like,
it's just an incredible city, and I know it's like no news to anybody, but you go up there. There's all the sights to see, right? Like we obviously you go to Times Square, and we went to Central Park, went ice skating, right, in Central Park. Jake, I've ice skated sporadically throughout my life, and I'm a quite good snow skier, and I would argue that I'm a decent athlete. We get on that ice, it's full of folks in Central Park the Saturday before Christmas, as you can imagine. I go 2 steps in, Jake, nearly took out a little kid as I lost my balance over heel side on my skates and had to balance out my equilibrium, but I saved it and made it through. So that was a good time. All the way down to the financial district. There's something about it. All the shops are lit up, and you got the skyline, and I don't know, it just seems like you're just American beauty being up there this time of year. Glad to get back to the West. It's a little crowded there for my liking, but man, just definitely a fun time.
Well, that's awesome. And it's something I think I'd want to enjoy. I'd love to go see a show or two. And yeah, I guess I need to make time for that at some point in my life.
But I did see a Panthers fan Times Square, and I gave him some knuckles, just so you know, as I walked by.
Some people call it knuckles. We call it fox bones. That was
Fox bones.
John Fox was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time when it came to the knuckles.
He was. You know what? That's very insightful of you. You're right. Bones, Fox bones. You know, when he'd come in. There was no getting away from it. And during the football season, everybody's hands, maybe not yours because you didn't get them smashed as much. Everybody's hands are sore, right? And when we used to shake hands this time of year with a stranger out in public, you just winced because they were going to give you the death grip because you were a big football player and your hands were hurting. Foxy would come in and his bones or knuckles was like stiff arm, straight, like a ramrod. He'd come walking from across and want to give you the fox bones. And he'd come with a velocity of 10, Jake, and just explode your fist. That is right. I hadn't thought about that in a long time.
Oh, and especially at 6:30 in the morning in the training room when he'd walk in there and he had his coffee in hand and it was all like, boom, what's up, guys? Oh, yeah, he was the same guy every day. You got to give him that.
Giant coffee and a chew-in, and he is very stimulated at 6:30 in the morning, thus the nuclear-powered fox bones. Oh, Jake, some Panthers to celebrate right now. The success is happening with the team, and it's an exciting time. And I love how much information the NFL provides. Panthers.com, our media team. It's like you can dive in so deep as a fan of the NFL with analytics and everything. Even updates on Pro Bowl voting. You remember when we played, Jake, a million years ago? You didn't know what the heck was happening with Pro Bowl voting until it was announced at the end of the practice the week that it came out, right? And you're like, you didn't know if you had a shot. I remember one year I made it, and we were 2-14 that year, Jake. And you want to talk about surprised? I was like, you're telling me I made the Pro Bowl on a 2-14 team? And I was just extremely proud of myself. It was an odd feeling because it was such a frustrating season. But we know up-to-date voting, and we've got 6 Panthers in the top 10 in Pro Bowl voting. J.C. Horn, obviously, Derek Brown, J.J., Mr. Fountain of Youth, Damian Lewis, Rico, and
he's
T-Mac.
never JJ's never made a Pro Bowl, correct?
Yeah, he has. He made it.
He has. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that.
I know he was there at least.
I didn't realize that. Okay,
back in him and I were Pro Bowl teammates, and I think it was 2013.
Wow.
Or actually 2014 after the 2013 season. But so cool for those guys, and I would just encourage anybody listening, keep voting, man, because making the Pro Bowl, it can have gigantic financial impact, obviously, and that's the accolade. That and All-Pro are really the two that stick with you and carry significant weight. But to feel love for the fans, that's the voting I'm referencing is the fan voting. To feel love from the fans and be represented in that way, man, it's just a beautiful thing. So I'd encourage everybody to keep voting. Jake, because you and I both know how good that feels to get that nod.
Yeah, Jordan, it's great. And listen, really and truly, when you look at Charlotte, we're not the biggest market team listen, the New Yorks, the Dallas, Philly, Green, those big of Pittsburgh, especially New York. I mean, somebody has 2 sacks, boom, they're in the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's unbelievable, some of those bigger markets. But yeah, please do so. We've got some deserving guys, man.
And speaking of fans, Jake, according to the website, there were 75,350 fans. It's got to just be off of swipes through the gate or however they track that, but we'll go with it. At the stadium on Sunday, you were there watching it on TV, Jake. It just seemed like an incredible environment, one that you and I have been a part of many times. But let's just be honest. Derek Brown, kind of hearing him talk about it, reflected just how beautiful it was on Sunday. He got drafted here in 2020, and there hasn't been a home playoff game since 2016, since the NFC Championship game in 2016. No home playoff game. This was the best home vibe that Derek Brown's ever had in his beautiful career. And I can only imagine it's going to continue on with Seattle coming here, Jake, and a team all the way from the West Coast that doesn't historically travel super well. It should just be outstanding rolling off of Christmas at Bank of America Stadium to finish off the regular season, the home regular season schedule.
Yeah, Jordan. Listen, I started doing this in 2019, the radio, right? And I'm going to be very honest. Sunday was unlike anything I had ever seen being in the booth. I haven't seen it like that at all. You felt it in the second quarter. You felt it when in the second quarter. I think I looked at Luke. We looked at each other. It was like, this is awesome. You started to feel it. And then when the third quarter happened, and then Greg comes out, bangs the drum between the third and the fourth, and then the wave starts in the crowd, and the crowd it was awesome, and it affected Tampa. Gedeke, their right tackle, he struggled. He had a couple of illegal motion penalties, and it helped. It helped tremendously. And I think you'll see it this weekend, because it's not like we're playing one of the all-time teams where they do have that deep fan base. I'm not so sure how well Seattle will travel, but I would just think, especially for what we're playing for, and we're playing one of the better teams in the NFL to begin with, I think it's going to be electric, and I am so looking forward to it, because it was special to see, Jordan. There was just something about it, because I knew what it was like being on that sideline, and we were very lucky. We did very well at home, especially our time. It means so much. You feel it, that the players try to tell the fans, like, hey, we feel your energy. And I can just remember the crowd getting loud and watching Julius coming off the edge and things like that. I don't know, man. It's just awesome, and it was so great to be a part of, albeit I'm just headset on, but you just felt it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And I can't wait for you you're coming back on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, you get to run it back one more time. And real-time updates happening here on Jordan and Jake podcast. We're recording this on Tuesday because of the holidays, trying to get it done ahead of the Christmas season so we can all be with our family. We got an update from producer Matt that J.C. Horn did make the Pro Bowl. It was announced in real time as we were going through this. So congrats to J.C. Horn, his second Pro Bowl. So let's just dive into this. He's the one. Right? He's the one that made it. No Derek Brown, which surprised me a little bit. Not surprised T-Mac or Rico didn't make it. Damian Lewis, like the guys that were in the top 10 in fan voting, that was outstanding, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't make it. Derek Brown, though, a little surprised right there, and obviously just a big congrats to J.C. Horn.
Yeah, that's great for J.C. Certainly with the interceptions. Maybe it's 5 that he has this year.
5, yeah.
Made a big tackle on the run play last week down at the goal line. Had a good year. I'm very surprised, Jordan, that Derek Brown didn't make it, to be honest with you. That's kind of a surprise to me.
Jalen Carter from Philly, Leonard Williams from Seattle, Quinnen Williams from Dallas were the interior linemen. And there you go, Jake. So you got Carter from Philly, big market team, Leonard Williams with the red-hot Seattle Seahawks, who came from the Jets, and then Quinnen Williams from Dallas. So, I've been voted in, and I've been not voted in, and sometimes I felt like I made it when I wasn't as good as I was other years where I didn't make it. But just Derek's having an outstanding season, man. His leadership needs to continue. I saw the breakdown, post-game breakdown the Panthers listed. Or showed on .com, and he said, man, this is everything we wanted in December. So that's really where the team's focus is and move forward. But, Jake, do you want to talk a little bit about the Bucs game, the big finish, Rantham at the end there, the pick, Bryce, 12 game-winning touchdown drives already, youngest to ever do it, ahead of a guy named Allen and a guy named Manning, which is pretty outstanding. And just go over Sunday a little bit, and then we'll pivot to moving on to Seahawks. And we got to talk about Luke, who did the debut of the Monday Night Football Playbook edition, which was awesome. So here we go. Tampa Bay, go.
Yes. So Tampa Bay, listen, division game, they're kind of reeling in essence, but they're coming off of the mini bye, right? So they got extra time. They had their full collection of weapons for only the second time this year. And they did a good job. I was surprised we didn't see more pressure, to be very honest. I thought they would have kind of pressured us more. It looked like to me they wanted to keep Bryce in the pocket, didn't pressure as much. And you know what Bryce did? He delivered from the pocket. And when they did pressure, which I was pretty surprised about right before the half with little time left, Bryce stood in there, brought in J.T. Sanders, changed the protection, and then boom. he hits T-Mac for the touchdown right before the half, which was huge. And we played clean football. We really and truly played clean football. We didn't have any turnovers. We were able to get the one turnover to seal it with Latham, who I felt great for, because last week with the late hit when Tyler Shuck, it's not, guys, that's tough, man, when somebody slides so late. I just think that's very tough.
We already covered that. J.J. Jansen wants the Bama slide.
Yeah, and so it was good, man. It was, and we got to play them again in a week, right? And then, yes, we have this monster game this week because Seattle's coming in, and we know how talented they are. But we had an opportunity, and we took advantage of it at home, and it was awesome. And it was awesome to see, and the excitement from the guys. And now we're gearing up to play Seattle, coming off of a mini bye. And then we'll see how it shakes out.
Bye. The mini bye, back to John Fox, right? There you go. That meaning they played on Thursday last week, so they had the weekend off. So let's go over the playoff scenarios for us Carolina Panthers. If we win, which is based on our history of playing number one seeds this year, you might as well just put it in the bank, right, Jake? We're going to win this thing. We've already done it twice. So we win against Seattle. Tampa Bay loses, we clinch. We lose.
Correct.
Tampa Bay wins or loses, doesn't matter. We beat Tampa Bay next week, we clinch. We lose both of them, then we're out of the playoffs. So we're either the number one, we're either the the division champ, or we're not in the playoffs. There's also this weird, we lose twice and the Falcons win twice, and there's a tiebreaker scenario, low probability there, Jake. But could you imagine, we're not going to be looking at the scoreboard this game, wondering how the Bucs are doing. But if we are up against Seattle, you better believe that people are going to be wondering how that Bucs game's going. And can you imagine if we were to clinch at home after Christmas, how that would feel, Jake? Whatever the case, it's not all or nothing this game, but it sure could be all if we get it done and the Bucs lose. If we don't, and we go down there and finish down there, just a exciting dang 2 weeks, man. Let's talk about Seattle.
Yeah, Jordan, Seattle. Sam Darnold, we'll start with him, playing extremely good football. Really and truly, their passing game is phenomenal. I think Clint Kubiak, who came over from New Orleans, they run that. It's the tree, the Kyle Shanahan tree, the McVay type of tree system that they run. And so it's, the run, the play action, they kind of spread you out, motion you, things of that nature. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is phenomenal, the young wide receiver. They traded for Rashid Shaheed, Cooper Kupp. So they're loaded, right? They haven't run the ball as well, but they did okay against the Rams. They ran it a little bit better against the Rams. But it's defensively, Jordan. They're young, they're talented, they're mean, and they're strong. That's a talented football team. Up front, man, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, DeMarcus Lawrence, who came over from Dallas. Linebackers are fast. Safeties are fast. It's a tough task, man. This is a tough football team that they're playing extremely well. So we got a tough task at hand. But you know what? We've risen up. Every time we had an opportunity, I think our team has kind of rose to the occasion, especially against those quality teams, and this is definitely one of those quality teams.
Well, thank goodness we're playing them at home, right? Anything's possible. The road, we could sure win, but how loud would it be in Seattle if this game was there? We've played in some games there. It's well known that that's one of the loudest venues. The long distance travel, Jake, is just lining up like how we would want this thing to be, right? Yeah. Then and that speed and that youth and all those things you're talking about on that Seattle team just amplified even more at home. So I'm just so grateful. Thank you, Santa, that this is working out to be a home game this week.
I'm like you, Jordan. That place is very difficult and it's extremely, extremely loud. They have a really good fan base, and their product has been very good for many years. And so they've kind of, the 12th man, they've established it. But you know what? I like what our product's going to look like on Sunday, and I like what our crowd's going to be like on Sunday. So I truly believe they're going to get a taste of their own medicine.
You know what's incredible, too? How long back when we played, week 17 was the last week of the season, right? And now there's one more to go. And with the extension of the season and the IR scenario being what it is now, where you're on IR, but anybody can come back. I'm reading on Panthers.com that there's discussion about opening the 21-day window to return to play for Robert Hunt. For everybody, to refresh everybody, he got hurt all the way back in Arizona. I was calling that game with you. Was it bicep or tricep? Bicep, right? Bicep injury.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah, tore his bicep.
Yes.
Well, he's been doing great in his recovery. Talking about bringing him back. If we were to make the playoffs, we could add him. I mean, that's incredible, Jake, because that was not on anybody's radar a month ago.
No, it wasn't. But you know what? Media asks Dave every week about him, and, it's called the return to play, which is something different that they do now compared to when we played. And, you could kind of tell he was working off to this, and I heard that too, and that was music to my ears. If we're lucky enough to continue this season after these final 2 weeks, there's a possibility that he can maybe be there, which would be a huge boost. Because even on the sideline during the games, and he doesn't have a uniform on, he still looks bigger than everybody else on our team. I mean, he's just this big dancing bear.
Well, I'm surprised he hasn't re-torn his bicep celebrating and cheering everybody on either. He leads the league, and he's leading Pro Bowl voting and cheering from the sidelines, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, he's an energy guy, man, and that's how he is. He was like that way in college. I remember, I was able to watch him play all 4 years in college, and he was that way. And so, yeah, it'd be awesome if that could be a boost if we can play some extra football this year.
Okay, last night was Monday Night Football. I was able to watch the game from the airplane. I did not know, somehow I missed it, that Luke was doing the Monday Night Football playbook with Orlovsky was on there, right? Field Yates, I believe, and it's like an analytics-driven thing.
Right, correct.
And Luke's all over the internet today because he called that last pick six. He said as soon as Rivers audibled, he knew what the play was going to be. He called it pick six to seal the game by the Niners. But no surprise there, being a broadcast partner with Luke. He's good at that. But what a cool experience for him. And then I know the Niners won. They look outstanding. Christian McCaffrey's awesome. But let's give Phillip Rivers a little bit of time here on this podcast, because I cannot believe how well he has done these 2 weeks, Jake, with the whole story. And everybody knows how long he's been out of football, and he's a grandpa and all that stuff. But what a cool thing to just get to witness, Jake.
Yeah, Jordan, I loved it. And I watched that broadcast the whole game last night because it's the all-22 version. So you could see all 11 guys offensively and defensively on the same in the same picture. And I love watching that. That's kind of how we watch a game, obviously, from the booth. But I thought Luke was fantastic, and it wasn't new to me. I hear it every week. And the thing I loved is that you could hear the microphones from the field, and we can kind of hear that in the booth, in our ear. The microphones are so great right now that you pick up on everything, and you pick up on calls. And Luke talked early in the game about, hey, you're wanting to start to listen to these calls, understand. And a lot of things have some L and R names in them. So you want to hear something with the L and the R because that's a left or right, and a lot of that is more protection. Then you pick up on the other names, and that is certain routes, and you can go back to it where they go back to that play because many teams will always go back to a play. And certainly Luke picked it up. He heard the play call. I believe it was Orlando or something like that, and it was a quick little stick so the guy could break in or out, and that's exactly what the linebacker did. But you pick up on those things, Jordan. If you remember our playoff game against the Giants, we knew every one of their signals from the secondary because a veteran safety had to give it. So we did run-pass check every single play in the Meadowlands, and we knew breaking the huddle because all I did was just watch the safety. Those little things you just pick up on, and I know as an offensive line, you and Travell next to each other for years, you start to understand when there's going to be a twist, what stunt, what backer might be coming. And it was just so great to watch that last night. I enjoyed that thoroughly. And the Phillip Rivers deal, it's really remarkable. And I don't know if it's remarkable or what does it say about some of these young kids coming out. You took a 44-year-old grandfather from coaching high school football, and he comes in, and he is running a no-huddle at the line offense, making every check, and he's lining up everybody. It's like, I don't know. It's so impressive to see, I think the only negative that I can say about this, everything's from the shotgun, and I think it affects their running game tremendously. I think it would be very difficult for a 44-year-old to be under center and to run all these play-action fakes and things of that nature and all the dropbacks. I think physically that could wear him down during the course of a game. So I think that's the only negative I could see, but it gives them such a good opportunity because it wasn't the offense that let them down last night. They just couldn't stop Brock Purdy in the San Fran offense.
Well, he has to go shotgun, though, Jake. You can't get out of there in time, right? Like, that's just the way it is.
Right, I know, but Jordan, but I think we all know, how much better a run game is when you can go from under center. I mean, as a coach, it's just when that running back's lined up in the home position and, you can go either way. It's just it makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, I got you. You're right. Well, hey, do you have your Christmas? Is Christmas all ready to go, Jake? You got it dialed in. Everything's ready. It's only a couple days away.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm ready. I'm loaded. My daughters came in huge for me, so that's pretty easy. I'm very lucky in that regard. But I'm locked and loaded, Jordan, and I'm ready to go. And it's extremely warm down here as compared to similar to many places now. It's just going to be a warmer Christmas.
All right. Well, let's have a great week, man. Next time I talk to you, we'll be through the holidays. We'll have already had the Seattle game, and I'll be ready. I'll be getting ready to go down and watch the Vegas Bowl, watch my youth. So wonderful time of the year, man. Be safe. Tell the family hi, and have a Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas to you, and Merry Christmas to Matt, producer. Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and go Panthers, man. This is a great time of year. It's so fun to be. We're in the mix, Jordan. What a great way to spend Christmas.
All right, boy. Be good.
Get almost anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parm delivered. A little escape? No. A delicious bowl of grapes? Yes, that. An afternoon stroll? Sorry, no. A burrito bowl? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now.
Hi, this is Gronk from Dudes on Dudes. I'm here to tell you about protecting your end zone with wet, extra large flushable Dude wipes. Unlike dry wiping with toilet paper, Dude wipes clear instead of smear. Wetter cleans better. Goodbye dingleberries. Goodbye itch and irritation. Plus, if you take Gronk-sized grumpies, or as I like to call them, Gronkies, baby wipes won't do. You need extra big Dude wipes to handle the job. So don't fumble the ball with toilet paper. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole and start using Dude wipes. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes. Best clean, pants down.
PCs powered by Snapdragon X Elite processors are made to go the distance. With blazing fast performance, next-level efficiency, and multi-day battery life, Snapdragon processors are built to tackle it all, from highlight reel editing to intense player research, so you can be at the top of your game wherever the day takes you. Learn more at snapdragon.com/laptops. Snapdragon, the heart of your PC.
Battery life varies significantly based on device settings, usage, and other factors.